My name is John Henshaw. I served in the Korean War. I retired in the rank of sergeant. I joined the Army at the age of 17 at 1 PD in Halifax. I got there, I was too young. I had to get a permission from my parents. I returned home, and my parents wouldn't sign the release for me to join the military. So I went across the street to my neighbor and got the lady over there to sign the paper for me. Then I returned to Halifax. They put me aboard a train and we went to Shallow, Manitoba and did my basic training. Finished basic training. I was posted to Valcartier, Quebec. From Quebec, I went to Wainwright, Alberta. We formed a regiment to go to Korea, which was the 81st Field Regiment. From there, I ended up in Petawawa. In Petawawa, I went to Korea for 14 months, returned, and was posted to Utopia, New Brunswick, which is no longer exists. It's been torn down. From there, I went to Northwest Europe. Northwest Europe, I went to Petawawa, and that's where I stayed the rest of my career. I served my country for 38 years. While I was there, we lived in bunkers, and they were made out of sandbags and ammunition boxes full of sand, which is one of our homes away from home. We were induced to lots of rats in them. And our boys that were killed over there, and this is the grave site of our people that are buried there. It's some more of them. And this is where the guards are for the between North Korea. They see the big building in the back, that's North Korea. The guards that by them blue buildings are South Korean troops. And you can only see half of their body because they don't show their whole body from out behind the building in case the airman picks them off. And this is down in the gully. The two ladies at the bottom, this lady here, her husband was in the RCR. She was pregnant for this girl here, and she never saw her father. He was killed over there in Korea. And this is another picture of the grave. While we were there, we supported the 3 RCR. They had got overrun, and they called down fire on them. The Lieutenant Duffy was the FOO officer, Forward Opposition Officer. He was decorated with quite a high rank, and he had a bombardier with him. He got the MID. His other 2 operators were killed at that time. We fired quite a number of ammunition that night. Our guns got quite hot, so we had to take some action one at a time, pour water on the barrels and get them cooled down so that we could put them back into action again. After the truce were signed, they moved us back to a place they called Kansas Lines. We dug in, and that's where we remained until the day they signed the truce was signed, and we returned home. I was posted to Utopia, as I said, and I ended up in Petawawa. I enjoyed my tour in Korea. We had some bad days and some good days. And in our gun position, we were fired on once, and that was the end of our hot experience on their gun position. All the rest were done up at the OP. We dug a tunnel through the mountains for an operation hour, but we never did use it. But the North Koreans and Chinese, they dug a tunnel underground, and they dug it clear into South Korea. If they hadn't captured them, they would have done that tunnel clear to Seoul, to Seoul, and they would move the whole companies of the Chinese, and we would have really been in trouble then. Remembrance Day is very important to all of our young children growing up, and I've said it many, many times. On Remembrance Day, our children in school should be attending the Remembrance Day parades.